Ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems, children of all ages, gather around because it's time to get down to that proverbial beat down. And today we have a long-lasting football player, a career spanning over 14 years. He's been a Kansas City Chief with the NFL. He's been, I assume, a Rough Rider with the CFL. And, of course, even got there with the Arena Leagues and was a number one pick in the Major League Football draft. His name is Felix Joyner.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, how you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing great, Logan, man. I appreciate you, brother. How are you?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. Look, I know it's hot out here in Vegas, but we got that dry heat. You down there in Miami with that humidity, how's it treating you?
Man, listen, every day it's a joy for me. And you know why it's a joy? Because, I'm originally from New York. I already know, and it gets cold up there. So any type of heat I can get, anytime I can get it, I'm loving it because I'm a heat. I'm a fan of the heat. Being cold, man. I grew up in a cold, bro. It was like 0 degrees at times.
I was gonna say, yeah, dude. You grew up in Rochester, upstate New York. You went to Buffalo State. You should be used to that chill. I understand it. My family's from Buffalo, man. Cheektowaga all the way. What's up?
Yes.
But which do you? Yeah, right. Williamsville, Cheektowaga. That's where my family's from, man.
I love it, brother.
It's a small world after all, right? So which do you prefer? Do you prefer upstate New York in that cold, or do you prefer that heat and humidity of Miami?
Man, listen, I prefer the heat and humidity, But listen, I also cherish the snow because there's many people who haven't seen it that would love to see it, and I get a chance to see it, grew up seeing it. So I also cherish that part of it. But yeah, I love the heat, man. Like I'd rather be on jet skis instead of snowmobiles.
It's all about the heat, right? All about the heat, man. I get it. I always wanted to be able to take a jet ski to work. And you know what? I almost figured out how to do it in Miami. It's a much better ride, a much smoother ride than a snowmobile. That is for sure. All right. So look, man, 14 years playing football. Would you get started with Pop Warner just like everybody else?
Yes, sir. Yep. I mean, it was an interesting, it's actually a funny starting point because I didn't want to play football. I love basketball. And, I always started off playing basketball. That was my first love. And then, my mom wanted me to play football. Come from a football family on her side. Make a long story short, my grandfather, Eldridge Clark, was a Heisman candidate at Ohio State. He also was drafted to Cleveland Browns. He fullback. He, was an inspiration. So I ended up playing football, falling in love with it, and, it's been history from there. I hated it, my first year. I played center. I wanted to play running back so bad. Starting off, my first year. Dude, I'm like 110 pounds, and they put me at center.
And what was that like? I have no idea, man. They never ever thought about putting me at center in Pop Warner. I played for the Red Devils. Let's go Red Devils. The coolest thing about Pop Warner was those jackets we got to wear around school. That was always very cool. But yeah, man. So what did you do? You're under center, getting your head beaten in every play, and you went, "Yeah, coach. You know what? I'm not against getting hit, but how about we give me the ball?"
Right. Listen, man. I used to tell him every day, like, Coach, you know what? I think we got to change this around, man. And we need you on. Like we walking into my football Pop Warner. Forgot my girdle, bro. And I'm out there running, and I'm going to make a block in an open field, and I just get smacked, like blindsided. I'm up in the air, and where do I fall? Right on my tail. No girdle, no nothing. You talking about something that hurt real bad, man. And I never knew the importance of a girdle and thigh pads and stuff like that until that point, man. And and listen, though, but my second year when I came back,
they have them, right?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I never thought so, especially at that age, because even back then too, they didn't wear them in the pros. So hey, you know what? I'll
That's
be
right.
okay without it. So, as a kid, you always think that you'd be okay with it. Hell, I thought I could fly when I was a kid. I broke my hand because I thought I was Superman. Because I was trying to fly off the roof of the garage before I climbed out the window, bro. Got done watching Superman, thought I could fly, man. Just went for it, man. First and only injury that I had to my hand, man. Unreal. So that just tells you, yeah. Go ahead.
Man, the coaches in Pop Warner, because you always wondered what those extra pads were for, man. And you don't see anybody in the NFL these days wearing like the actual pads on their knees anymore, man. Remember that? There was a
Nope.
whole bunch. Whatever happened to the pads right here too? Man, did they go by the way of the
Yeah.
dodo bird? Man, there were pads
Man, listen, they're
everywhere.
gone. Right. And they were huge, bro. The pass was like unreal, like so big. And it's crazy though, because the pass is 86 now. So, like I said, it was the same way almost in the pros, at least. You were required to wear them in Pop Warner in college, high school, and all the rest of that stuff. In the pros back then,
Right.
you weren't really, restricted to that. So either way, us younger guys will always try to do the same exact crap. Like I said, I learned my lesson early. So I've always wore pads, man. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure. Listen, so protective reasons. So yeah, wear your pads, kids. It is for a good reason.
Yeah, Felix, they're not even putting in their mouth guards. They're not even putting in their mouth guards
Right,
half the time anymore.
right. But you want to know why though? Too.
Crazy.
I mean, the game is totally different. I say this now, and I will always say it, man. The game is watered down. It's totally different. That's my opinion to it. So today, these guys not wearing a mouth guard. They can get away with that. Back then, you're not getting away with that. You're gonna learn very quickly. You're gonna get your teeth knocked out, a concussion quick, your head knocked off, like something is coming at you. So at the end of the day, man, like I said, the game is watered down. These guys, like, you're not even really hitting in camps anymore. That's why these guys aren't wearing full pads and stuff like that, because you're restricted to like one major day of like hitting and all. Like, it's totally different, man. So you know, which is shocking to me, because they have so much more technology, you know what I'm saying, now than they had back then. So it's like then you're getting your head knocked off with very little technology, you know what I'm saying, to come back from. And now you have so much technology, but they're like so light on it, so light on like the game. So I don't know, man. But yeah, it's different.
It definitely is different. I think between Ronnie Lott and Tom Brady, we lost a little bit of that fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I
Yes,
had a
sir.
conversation with Tiki Barber at ESPN a while back, and we were talking about how the NFL is going to change over the next 25 years. And I think, especially because they're allowing NFL players to participate in the flag football and the Olympics, we're seeing what the NFL is going to turn into right before our eyes. It's going to take 25 years to happen, because it's going to start with the parents. Look, parents aren't like your mom anymore. They do not want to see their kids go, oh, my baby, do not hit my baby like that. Don't
Right.
do that, right? So at the Pop Warner level, it'll start. Less kids will be doing that. More kids playing basketball, maybe soccer or football, depending on where in the world you are, Carmen Sandiego. But kids will be playing different sports, is my point. And then we'll see it trickle up, not trickle down. There'll be less high school players, thus less college players. And then the NFL will get to a certain point. Am I crazy, or can you see it happening?
Listen, man, I can definitely see it happening. It's funny that you're touching on that, because I've always thought the same exact thing, and especially with me being an advocate for NFL flag football. I'm partnered with the NFL flag football, and it's crazy because I mean that's one of the fastest growing sports right now, and it's
Yep.
so funny because once the NFL got involved and took over, and really started putting a stamp behind it, I knew then it was going to change. And then once they put it into the Pro Bowl this year, or excuse me, when was it? This year or last year? Whenever they put it,
Last year.
one of these. Okay, yeah. So when they put it into the Pro Bowl, then that's what I knew. I'm like, yep, I knew it. I was on the same page as you, brother. It's going in that direction, man. Straight flag football soon.
Well,
You can tell.
You can
And
see
it's
it
crazy.
coming. And, you know, my friend of mine, go ahead.
Oh no. Real quick, I was gonna say, and remember that I'm saying this because I think this is gonna be interesting because you see how they're pushing the the female point of flag
Yeah. Oh,
football.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the NFL is really pushing it. So I wouldn't be surprised if there would be a female professional flag football league pop up, sponsored or backed by the NFL or some major, organization coming behind it. Watch. You
Oh,
heard it first.
I
Watch.
agree with you. I agree with you. I mean, the Women's Alliance League, or what I think it's called the Alliance Women's Football League, or whatever. They hit pretty
Yep.
hard, just like the men. So I think you're right. I think we're going to see men's flag football backed by the NFL, women's flag football backed by the NFL, and a mixed league backed by the NFL as well. Because what it comes down to, as a running back
Oh,
or
yeah.
a kick returner like you have done, Amon Green said being a running back in the NFL is like getting into a car accident 30 times a day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, that's perfectly said, man. And that's why you gotta learn very early, man, how to choose and pick your hits and elude them, man. Because yeah. Otherwise you're gonna be in that train wreck all day.
So over your career, you had some setbacks. You had a hamstring.
Yep.
You had a broken leg. Oh, Joe Theismann called and said, "I'm sorry, bro." I get it. What was it like having to overcome those obstacles and keep your football mind in check and be able to look towards the end goal?
It was tough, but my faith, my family, you know, um, as far as my, family, siblings, sister, brothers, my parents, son. So at the end of the day, I had a good supporting, cast around me. I always knew what my end results, I wanted them to be. And I know that I'm the creator of my own story. So, and I know that wasn't where the chapter ended. So at the end of the day, you can sit there and sob, in your own misery, or you can get up and do something about it. So with me being an elite athlete, I never sat there and sobbed, so I knew how to, get myself together and bounce back. Yeah, it hurts, and you know, you think about it, you have a lot of thoughts, you try to step away from it, which you really can't because it's questions, everything coming from everywhere. But like I said, you learn how to deal with it. And then, like I said, my faith was something that was huge that helped me, keep my eye on the prize and, keep me focused and keep me going to my end goals.
Was there anybody around that time that you specifically remember giving you a big piece of advice to lift you up and keep you motivated?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I had my siblings, I had my son,
Is there any one
he
thing that
was
somebody said
young,
to you?
very young, but, he still understood, so just having him around my parents or whatever. And then, on a professional side, mentor, friend, work done, and
Warwick.
work really stuck with me, he stuck with me a lot, because we was having a conversation. And, I was battling through, a lot of it, and, people running their mouths on the internet, whatever the case scenario is and stuff
Mhm.
like this, and I remember, and already being down, and I remember work was like, listen, why are you even listening to this? He goes, you got to learn how to block this out. You should know this by now, and he's getting on me as a big brother, you know what I'm saying? And then he's telling me his story, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, even though I heard it more than once, each time you hear it, it puts you back into your place in perspective. Like he said, he was a Hall of Famer, this and that. And at the age of 30, they're trying to put him out the league and stuff like that. And he said,
Right, right.
and he's like, you still have these opportunities and you're still yada yada. He's like, listen, he really gave me words of wisdom that inspired me, like take advantage of every day that you have left to be able to do it, and he told me, do not stop doing it. He said, until you feel like you're done. He said, because you don't ever want to look back and say, hey, dang, I wonder if I would have gave it that one last try, or I wonder if I would have did this. He said, don't leave no I wonders. And that right there inspired me a lot and that stuck with me, and that's something I held on to and ran with. And, it helped me through a lot of obstacles and hurdles, that I was going through, during the different moments.
Well, you would have to listen to advice from an NFL great like Warrick Dunn, one of the best running backs to grace the field. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, let's go Bucks. He showed it out and showed what it takes on the field each and every single day, and was not one of the biggest people on that field either. Do not get it wrong, but he worked harder, he ran faster, and he was stronger mentally than everyone else. And you know what? It just shows that's great advice, and you have to take great advice. It doesn't matter where it comes from. If there's a flaming goat that can talk, first of all, I'm like, why are you on fire? Second of all, why can you talk? But if the goat has good advice, I'm listening to it. All right? Just saying. All right.
Yes, sir. Hey, listen, a big shout out to my bro, Warrick, man.
Yeah, big shout out, man. I used to go between Tampa Bay and Green Bay. I was a Bay dude on Madden back in the day, and the first time I worked with Amon Green, I was like, bro, I used to have you running up and down that field, crazy leg style. So talk to me about how you got into arena football. I used to love arena football, man. I had season tickets. I was all about arena football. How did you get into arena football?
Man, it was crazy because silent owner of a team, that I knew, he was one of the owners, and I knew the other owner. And they're like, hey, why don't you come and do an appearance game for us and blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, man, I don't know about that. I'm like, yo, this is a totally different game and all the rest. I said, man, you talking about, I see people going over walls. I said, hey, this field is 50 yards. I'm like,
crazy.
There's like, nah, bro. There's like, trust me, you can do it. There's like, especially the type of back. There's like, nah, just come do an appearance game. There's like, even if you just do like a couple plays or whatever. And I'm like, So I went ahead and did it, make a long story short. And then, after the first play, I fell in love with it. I was like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, this is so fast. I'm like, oh, this is chill. I'm like, oh, I love this. And then, man, it was history since then, man. I fell in love with it, so.
I'm looking down right now, and yes, indeed. Did you know that John Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora owned an arena, the New Jersey Arena Football League at one point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then also they were
did you ever get
our destroyers.
Did you ever get a chance to meet them?
Yes, I actually did.
Oh man! In all my career of being in radio and sports, the only time I ever got to interview him was because of arena football. I did rock radio for years before I got into ESPN and all of that craziness. Right before I got there, the only time I ever got to speak to them was about arena football, which was crazy to me. But dude. Let's talk about Canada, our woodsy neighbors to the north, the CFL, the Grey Cup. Yeah, that's right, kids. That's what they call the Super Bowl up there, the Grey Cup. You're used to the cold, so going up to Canada was just like, that must have been just an easy peasy lemon squeezy question mark for you.
Heck no, that's a different cold. Listen, that cold over there is just straight different. Listen, you can send me back to Rochester for that one. Nah, it's over for that, bro. Listen, but listen, Canada was it was a great time. Everything is different also over there, and the joy of it. Let me back up and explain something real quick. Is I always knew what I wanted to do at the end of my sports career. So, and I'm a type of person I like to talk from experience. So I knew that when dealing with younger athletes or talking, to different, radios or just anyone, that's coming to me for advice, I'm able to tell you firsthand and from firsthand experience. So I said I will always want to be a person to touch every single high level elite professional football, league and field, to be able to talk to athletes from experience. So, hey, yeah, I played here. I was a top dog in here. Able to explain on every single level, what I'm saying, from firsthand experiences. And that's something that I always wanted to do. A little bit of time gave me a ring. And I'll show you or whatever. The next one or whatever. So, next time we're on or connect or whatever, I'll make sure I'll show you this, show you my ring. But yeah, so, great times. And like I said, a good experience, different field, just different level of play. And what I mean by that is, game is very fast, everything is different. So, like I said, it's just something to be able to go back and talk about and, firsthand experience to different athletes.
Well, dude, you're a very charitable person. It's been known you've gone back to Rochester to help out over there very often. There's a bunch of newspaper articles about all the wonderful things that you've done for your home community of Rochester, New York. Talk to me about FJ1 Sports and what that means to you.
Man, FJ1 Sports means a lot to me because it actually started off by, hosting free events, in 2010 to the community of the city of Rochester, and it just started to spread abroad, of now different recs, different organizations asking, hey, could you guys do this? Hey, we love what you're doing. And because of my time then, and I was still playing, I wasn't too much focused on that. I was just focusing more so on the community aspects and, giving back to the kids and stuff like that. And then, once things started to settle down, then I started to, just host different camps as being a 3-sport athlete, in high school and just loving sports, period. I started hosting basketball camps, football camps, soccer camps. And then, my brand has always been FJ1. So, we turned my brand into, FJ1 Sports. And then, that's what FJ1 Sports became about. And, we just started adding, so many different entities to our organization. And then, just being blessed to be able to partner with every major league here in the country, all the way to the USTA, NHL, NFL, MLB, MLS, so it's like we're partnered with every single, major league here in the U.S., giving back and just being able to help, our youth being able to feel like a professional as they're playing for their favorite teams and stuff like that. So just to be able to give back and provide these different opportunities to our youth, but also provide opportunities to high school kids, adults, stuff like that, just helping them reach their goals and their levels, whether it's through education, recruiting, getting on professional teams, combines, just helping, people succeed. So it means a lot to me because that's what I'm all about is, helping see the next person, especially our next generation, reach their goals and be successful the same way that I was, but even greater.
Well, if you or any of the athletes that work on FJ1 Sports are in Vegas, I've got my own Sunday sports show live at the Luxor Arena. And you all anybody that works with you, for you, or around you, brother, if they're involved with you in sports, they have an open invitation to be a guest on my show. All right?
My guy, we appreciate you.
All right.
That will be an honor for us, man.
All right, last question before we get to 5 questions. Obviously, football has been something that has been a part of your life your entire life. What has football meant to you? I think we lost you, Felix. Yeah, I can't hear you, buddy. Are you there? I think we lost him. Felix, I can't hear you anymore, bud.
Everything is special.
Hello?
At this point, football has given me and put me in the place where I'm at right now. So I'm very thankful and very blessed for this.
All right, Felix, something's happening, man. Yeah. We didn't hear any of that except for that.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I can.
Yes.
Okay. All right, your connection's been pretty shaky, but we just for football.
Yep.
We got that. All right, before we get to 5 questions, your prediction on who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I mean, KC.
All right, KC.
That's a no-brainer.
Here first. Let's go. All right.
That's a no-brainer.
Fair enough. Is there anything you'd like to say to the people at home?
I mean, thank you guys so much, just for watching, and being a part of my journey and just, tuning in with us tonight. And listen, guys, if you have any goals, any aspirations, anything, go for it. It's never too late. I don't care how old you are. It's never too late. Keep striving and going. If you have it, keep giving back. It means the world, and it's going to change.
All right, I'm going to try to get through 5 questions with you. I don't know if it's going to be able to happen, but we're going to give it a shot here. 5 questions, as always, brought to you by Newer. Use code Logan to save yourself 20% off of all the pro gear at amateur pricing over at newer.com. All of this gear in my studio is from Newer. All of the gear I use on the streets of Las Vegas is from Newer. If you're a pro creator or an amateur creator, go over to newer.com. Use code Logan. Save yourself 20% off. And if you're wondering where you can find that link, depending on what platform you're watching us on, it's in the About section. Go check it out. All right. Question number 1 of 5 questions to Felix Joyner. All right, this may be a stupid question, but I got to know the answer to it. I've never asked it, so I need to know. Who has the hardest hitting football league? Is it the NFL, CFL, Arena, or MLF? Yeah, I think we lost you, Felix. I think we're going to have to call this one, buddy. Yeah, we lost you, brother. I can't hear you at all. All right, well, you know what, Felix, I appreciate you. We'll get the technical difficulties worked out for next time, and we'll get you back here on the show.
That's tough for
we'll go through 5 questions.
I would say the NFL and
yeah, we're going to there's some kind of crazy delay. It's like a half a minute or something like that. I don't know what's going on. Look, for Felix Joyner and myself, we will check you out next time. I've got another interview tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. We're going to be talking to a young hooper about their basketball dreams. Felix, I appreciate you. We'll figure out these technical issues on your end, and we'll get you back, and we'll get you through 5 questions soon enough. Remember, if you're in Vegas, come by and say hi anytime. And until next time, do me a favor. Be good to yourself and be kind to others. Pay it forward, play it forward. Rock like a party star, party like a rock star. Smile strong, laugh loud. Last but not least, please like, follow, and subscribe so you will know when I will be back. And until next time, everybody loves a good hit. Thank you, Felix. We'll see you again. Be good. Thanks, Felix. Take care.